Okay, it is 6:30. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So thank you guys for joining. I'll be teaching again tomorrow night at 6:30, and then also next week, which will be the last week, on Monday and Tuesday. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, awesome. Thank you for the thumbs up, Nicole. Okay, great. So thank you for hopping on and joining. We'll practice for 45 minutes, and as always, your practice is your yoga practice. You do not need to do what I'm doing or suggesting or leading. It's kind of your own practice, and that will unfold as it is. So have fun with it, and allow it to be playful and almost like a little discovery. So why don't we get started in a comfortable seated position? And we'll start with our breath as always. So we'll start with really kind of grounding down and slowing the energy and breath down. So you're welcome to close the eyes. You can sit on a pillow or a yoga block if you'd like. And allow yourself to just land here. So notice the grip with the fingertips. And if you feel yourself really kind of holding on or pressing into the knees, see if you can lift maybe all 10 finger pads or fingertips. And then on a slow exhale, just let them gently rest back down on top of the knees. And notice the elbow, so allow there to be a soft bend there. And we're sitting up nice and tall, so the crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. And we're doing our best to kind of feel relaxed and let go. So the tension in the shoulders, we're kind of allowing the shoulders to melt down the back, and we have some space between the shoulders and the ears. And we are relaxed through the muscles of the face. And we'll take a couple deep breaths in. So on the inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose. And then out through the mouth, a big long exhale out. And a few more times. Big breath in through the nose. And then a long, slow exhale out through the mouth. And this time, deep breath in. And on the exhale, see if you can really make it slow. And one more full inhale. And full breath out. Go ahead and gently open the eyes up and have the intention to maybe keep this kind of peaceful state of mind with you throughout the practice. So let's have the hands on the knees and just kind of start moving the upper body in some circles to warm up a bit. And you get to go as slow as you'd like. If you enjoy a quicker pace, you're welcome to do that. And we want the yoga practice to be not so forceful. So we want it to kind of be gentle and fluid and organic. So see if you can bring that to your practice just by being and breathing and moving. And if you'd like to pause or hold in a spot or during any of the poses throughout the practice, you are definitely welcome to do that. All right, sitting back up nice and tall. Let's take a deep breath in. Let the heart lift up towards the ceiling. So you've got this nice kind of curve in the spine, and the chin looks up towards the ceiling and lifts. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin towards this chest, hug the belly button towards the spine. And again, inhale, breathe in, heart lifts up, gaze walks its way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hug the belly button towards spine, round in the spine, and hug the chin towards chest. And we'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in. And exhale the breath out. And one more time. Nice deep breath in. Feel the heart opening up. And exhale out. And let's come back to a still seated position. And let's take a big inhale and reach the arms up nice and high towards the ceiling. Really reach through the fingertips. And when you get to the top, interlace the fingertips together and then press the palms up towards the ceiling so the hands are opening up. And you can kind of move from side to side, feel a nice stretch through the ribs and side body. All right, and then come back to center, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, round in that spine, tuck the chin and press the palms forward. Use an inhale to bring you up, palms press up towards the ceiling. And exhale, palms press forward. And again, inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, bend your elbows and bring the hands to the base of the skull. So if you'd like, the elbows can start to open up to the space behind you to get a nice stretch through the front of the shoulders. And then from here, the chin can start to lift up towards the chest for opening through the front of the throat. And on your next exhale, gently release the fingertips. All right, let's hug the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale, roll them down. And 2 more times. Inhale, hug those shoulders up. And exhale, release them. 1 more time, breathe in. And exhale, release, let it go. Let's come into a side stretch. Leave your right hand on the mat. Big inhale, reach the left arm up. So we want to reach and lengthen, and then on that exhale, start reaching over towards your right. So this right hand is just gently on the floor. And then for a deeper stretch, you can drop the right forearm down on the mat. This left bicep is about right over the ear. We're really reaching through these left fingertips. Nice side body stretch. On an inhale, notice if you can reach just a little bit farther. And on your exhale, find your way back up towards center. Awesome. Leave the left hand now down on the ground, and we'll start by inhaling. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And exhale, reach over towards the left. Stay here for a couple breaths and notice if on an inhale, if there's any more length that you can create. We'll stay for 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Come back up towards center. Let's go to the other side again. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, reach. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, fold the upper body over the right thigh and knee. Stay for a breath. Lovely. Come back up through center and go to the other side. So an inhale takes you into the pose. You stretch and reach and lengthen. And then as you exhale, nice reach over towards the left. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold the upper body over the left knee and thigh. Back of the neck is long here, so the chin is slightly tucked. And exhale, come back up through center. Let's take a nice big breath in. Reach those arms up nice and high. We'll take a spinal twist over towards the right as you exhale. So moving as slowly as you need to, the left hand to the right knee. The right fingertips are propped up on the mat or the floor. We're getting a nice twist. So we're sitting up nice and tall, the belly button squeezing in towards the spine. We're working towards gazing over that right shoulder. And your next exhale, come back through center. And to the other side, inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, twist over to the left. So the crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. Right now the chin is parallel with the floor. Stay for another breath. Twist on the exhale. Awesome, and come right back towards center. Let's take our hands and put them on the floor in front of us and start just walking the arms forward. And if you have a pillow, that can feel nice to rest the tummy on, or the forehead, you can drop down to the forearms and just notice a stretch through the low back. And gently start to walk yourself back up. Okay, hopefully we're all feeling nice and good. Let's get into child's pose. So for child's pose, there's a few ways to do it here. Knees can come to the edges of the mat, flipping onto the tops of the feet, the big toes to touch. We're settling the hips down towards the heels. We're reaching our fingertips to the front edge of the mat and sink the heart and chest down to the mat, and the forearm or chin should be either on the mat or stacked hand over hand if the forehead's not reaching down. If this doesn't feel good on the hips, you can always take child's pose with the knees together, and the arms can be back by your side towards the back edge of the mat. So the great thing about yoga is you get to decide and make the choice of what pose or what variation you'd like to do. And then when you're there, really be in it. So notice if there's tension anywhere, notice if you could be in it a little bit more. So we'll stay in child's pose and breathe for 3 breaths. And then from here, let's come into puppy pose. So walk the knees in so that they're about hips width distance apart, and the knees are under the hips, and the fingertips reach forward. And so puppy pose can feel really great on the shoulder. So either your chin or forehead will drop down towards the mat. And then if this is feeling tight on the shoulders, you can always kind of tent the fingertips for a different sort of stretch. So this can always be a modification to downward facing dog or child's pose. I think it just feels really delicious on the shoulders. Nice opening. All right, then from here, let's come into tabletop. So the legs can probably stay right where they're at, and we'll walk the wrists and hands right underneath the shoulders. Bend the elbows a bit here and just take some circles with the hips. And in tabletop, we want our core to be active to protect the low back, and the back of the neck stays nice and long, so probably gazing between the 2 hands. And we're engaging through the arms. Keep a soft bend through the elbows as you kind of move through these movements. And let's come back to a neutral tabletop, and let's set this up. So fingertips are spread nice and wide, and we're hugging the core up and in, and we're pressing the earth away from us. So we're not sinking or dropping into the hips or the shoulders. We're really engaged in pressing the earth away. So from here, kick the right foot back, flex the foot and kick through the heel. Back of the neck is nice and long. So whatever's in contact with the floor, we're really pressing into it. And you can stay here, or for more of a challenge, lift the left arm forward. So we're kicking through the back right heel and really reaching through these left fingertips with the thumb face up to the ceiling. And we're going to come slightly off center. So start bringing this right foot to the back right corner of the mat and this left hand to the top left-hand corner of the mat. So we're using our obliques, still engaging the core, stay for a breath. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale. And exhale, slightly off center again. And come back through center. Inhale, lengthen and reach. And exhale, slightly off center. Keep grounding down through the right hand and that left knee. And come on back through center. Breath in. And exhale, lower back down, tabletop. Any little movements here before going over to the other side. Maybe you roll that right wrist out, bend the elbow. All right, back to tabletop, and we'll go to the other side. So when you're feeling stable, kick the left foot back behind you. Left toes are facing down towards the ground, engaging the low abs. Back of the neck nice and long, and when you're ready, if you'd like, reach the right fingertips forward. So my lifted leg and lifted arm are super engaged. It's like if this left foot was pressing up against the back of up against a wall. So take a breath in. Exhale, come slightly off center again. So this right hand, top right hand corner of the mat. And back through center. Keep engaging the core if you find yourself sinking into the shoulders, or breath in. And exhale, open up. And again, inhale back through center, reach through the heel and through the fingertips. And exhale, open up. And inhale. And on the exhale, release and lower down. Back to your tabletop. Any little stretches here, you can flip onto your palms or onto the backs of your hands like this. Get a nice little stretch on the wrists. All right. Why don't we come into a low lunge? So let's slide our right foot forward and walk it towards the center of the mat so you've got a hand on either side. We'll come into a half camel pose. So typically when we're in this, we kind of sink into the hip, but we actually want to be a bit more pressed down through this left knee. So we're a bit more lifted and we're really grounding down through this right foot. If you'd like, you can bring both hands to the top of the right knee. And you can leave these back toes either tucked under or flipped onto the top of the foot. And for a half camel, we start bringing our left hand back to our left calf or ankle. And so we have a nice opening through the heart, and we're getting this nice back bend. And this right arm can be wherever it helps you feel stable. And if you're feeling good, the right arm can always start to reach up towards the ceiling. And then almost kind of back behind you. And we'll stay for just another breath. Inhale. And then slowly exhale. Start bringing the chin towards the chest and lower the hands down. And now from here, let go and melt into the hips. Ooh, that feels good. So let's leave this left arm down. Inhale, twist and reach right arm up. And exhale, lower down. Keep pressing into that right foot. To the other side, inhale, reach. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep the right arm out. Exhale, lower down. And one more time. Big inhale, reach the left fingertips up. And exhale, release. Both hands are down on the mat and shift back to your runner's stretch. I'm going to work on straightening the front leg, flexing the right toes towards the face, and the hips are pulling to the back edge of your mat. And the fingertips are on the floor for support. And there should be a nice stretch happening through the back of the right leg. Start to bend the right knee. Let's bring the sole of the right foot back down to the floor. And walk this right foot out towards the right edge of the mat and bring that right hand to on the inside. So we've got both hands right next to each other. So this is deepest lunge. The right toe should be facing forward with the ankle right under the knee. For a deeper stretch, you can drop the forearms down to the mat. And we want to work on hugging the right knee into our right shoulder. So there should be a stretch, at least for me, I feel through my right hip, and then even a stretch through these left hip flexors as I'm sinking into the hips. And the back of the neck is nice and long, and we're just focusing on a nice, steady breath. And you're welcome to stay here to go into a different variation. Come back up on the hands and turn this right toe out to a clock and roll onto the pinky edge side of it. So now you should feel kind of an opening through the outer right hip and glute area. And you can see the sole of your foot. And this right hand can come to the inner right thigh. And you can kind of give yourself a gentle little stretch if that feels okay on the knee and the hip. If anything is feeling painful, definitely kind of back off a bit. And then from here, you're welcome to bend this left knee, and the right arm can always reach back for the left ankle for a nice opening in the shoulder. And always fun things to try. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Let's bring this right foot back to the center of the mat. And so you've got a hand on either side of the foot. Tuck these back toes under, lift the back knee, and we'll step forward to a forward fold. Top of the mat, feet are about hips width distance apart. The feet are parallel and bend the knees just a little bit. You're welcome to come into ragdoll where we grab opposite elbows. Now let the head and neck go. Keeping a nice soft bend through the knees so we don't overstretch the hamstrings. And exhale, release. Lower your hands down and come back to your tabletop. Lauren, will you shut that blind for me? Thank you. All right. So we'll go to the other side on that. So now we will slide our left foot forward. And then bring that left foot to the center of the mat. So you got a hand on either side of the foot. And before we release in the hips and let go, let's really press down through the feet and we'll come into that half camel. So it's almost like the top of the head is lifting us up. We're kind of taking energy in and up through the core. So we're lifted in this pose. Hands can come to the top of the left knee. And notice what's touching the ground. So we should be pressing through the left foot and this right knee. And so from here, this can be your half camel, or to go a bit deeper, this right arm starts reaching back for the right calf. We're going into this nice back bend and heart opening. And there's no rush here, so we're kind of moving slowly and just noticing how the movement feels, noticing how we're feeling. And then you're welcome to lift the left arm up towards the ceiling or even back behind you. And notice if you're feeling forceful or rigid in this back, right hand and right elbow. See if there's a more kind of gentle, softer way to do it. And nice exhale, bring yourself back up and lower the arms down. And just kind of stay here for a moment as you allow yourself to sink a bit deeper into the hips. Make sure this left ankle is right underneath the left knee. And we'll leave our right hand down on the mat and inhale, twist and reach the left arm up. And exhale, release, lower down into the other side. Big inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down. And big inhale, sweep the arm up. Exhale, lower down into the other side. Big inhale. And exhale, lower down. Both hands down on the mat. Shift back to that runner's stretch. So the hips pull to the back edge of the mat, soften through the belly, and adjust the hands so that you feel stable. Flex the left toes towards the face. And for a deeper stretch, you can start folding in the upper body over this left leg. Bend in the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot down to the mat. And let's start walking this left foot out to the left edge of the mat. And so now we've got both hands on the inside of this left foot for our deepest lunge. So you can stay with the hands on the ground, or for a deeper stretch, drop down to the forearms. Or if you have a pillow or a yoga block, you can always drop your forearms down to that. So it's a nice middle point between being on the hands or lowering the forearms all the way down. Nice deep breaths here as the hips open. And if there's any gentle movements you want to take or that feel good, definitely take that. And then for a different variation, you can press back up onto the hands, turn the left toes out to 10 o'clock, roll into the pinky edge side of the foot. So now your kind of left inner thigh, glute, and hip is getting a different sort of stretch. We're melting into the hips and almost looking over that left shoulder. And breathing. And if you want to give it a try, bending that back leg, the left hand reaching for that ankle. And on the next exhale, lower down. And let's start walking this left foot back towards the center of the mat. Bring the left hand down. And why don't we press back to downward facing dog. So bring the feet to the back edge of the mat. Your feet are about hips width distance apart. Have a soft bend through the knees. The hands are hips width distance apart and the fingertips are spread nice and wide. Sending the chest back towards the thighs, let the head drop. And so if down dog's feeling uncomfortable, notice if you can adjust the space between your feet and your hands to make it more comfortable. We're really pressing into our finger pads and engaging through our arms. Maybe you rock the hips from side to side. Stretch out the legs. We want to work our heels down towards the back edge of the mat. And on an inhale, let's lift the heels up away from the mat so it's like we're on our tippy toes. So breath in and lift. And then exhale, drive the heels down. Send the chest back towards the thighs. And we'll stay for another breath. Inhale. And exhale out. Let's start walking our feet up towards our hands, so towards the front of the mat, and we'll come into another forward fold. So a good one here that I like is interlacing the hands at the low back, press the palms together, and let the knuckles start to drop towards the front edge of your mat. So get a nice opening through the shoulders. Still have a soft bend through my knees, really grounding down through the feet and dropping the head and neck. And exhale if you've got any. Drop the hands down towards the mat, and let's take an inhale and lift halfway. So on a halfway lift, the hands can come towards the shins, the knees are still bent, the chest is lifting and pulling forward, so the spine is nice and flat, back of the neck is long, breath in, and exhale, fold forward. And let's do that again. Inhale, lift halfway, so really press through the feet, let the heart lift up. And exhale, fold down. And one more time, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. We'll rise up to stand. So inhale, really press into your feet, bend the knees, chin towards chest, and rise up nice and slow. Still pressing through the feet. Inhale, arms lift up nice and high to the ceiling. And exhale, fold forward, bend the knees. Coming into some half sun salutations. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, press to the top of the feet, through the feet, and rise up to stand. Exhale, fold forward 2 more times. Use your inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Breathe in and rise up. Option for a swan dive as you fold forward, so the arms kind of go out to the right and the left, and the heart leads the way. Bend the knees and folds. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, folds. And press through the feet, rise up. Press through the feet and then really reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, fold forward. And from here, let's step our left foot back behind us. So we'll come into crescent lunge. So we've got our right toes facing forward with the right foot right under the knee. You're welcome to drop this back knee down to the floor. So for some stability here, walk this right foot out towards the edge of the mat so you've got some width between your feet. And you're really pressing down, so this back knee is either down on the floor or it's really strong and lifting up towards the ceiling. So why don't we start with our hands on our hips here. So the crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. And why don't we come into a twist? So bring this right hand to the low back and this left hand to the right knee. Take a breath in. As you exhale, start twisting towards the right. Really pressing down through the feet and the legs are super engaged. The core is hugging in and engaged. Stay here for another breath. And on the exhale, come back towards center and we'll come right into warrior 2. So we're going to spin our back foot down. So this foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. And if you need to adjust your front foot so that it's almost in line with the center of the back foot, go ahead and do that. So the right toes are facing forward. Our right ankle is right underneath the right knee, and our knee is not caving in towards the middle. So if it is, and would come out of that bend a little bit. And so we're reaching our hands. So we're reaching through the fingertips and the shoulders are right over the hips. Let's take a breath in and press through the feet. Start to straighten that front leg and bring the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, come back into your warrior 2. We're really pressing into that outer edge and that back foot to help keep us stable. Let's do that again. Inhale, press through the feet, straighten that leg, lift the arms up. Maybe you gaze up. And exhale, warrior two. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, press through the feet and lift the arms. Exhale, warrior two. And let's focus on the ring finger. So reaching as far as you can through this right ring finger. And then even looking back behind you and noticing the left ring finger really lengthening. We'll inhale, flip our front palm and revolve. So a nice reach up and then back. We're still pressing through the feet and staying low in the front leg. And coming into a side angle. So let this right elbow gently rest onto the top of the right thigh. Roll this right rib right underneath the left and reach the left arm up. Spread those fingertips. Awesome, we'll stay here for one more breath. And come on back to your warrior two. And on the next inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. Going to exhale, windmill these arms down, roll onto the ball of the back foot. Before you go anywhere, leave this left arm down and let's just take a nice little twist. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower that right arm down and let's step this back foot back, downward facing dog. And let's start to walk the feet up towards the hands again. Nice forward fold. So let's come into monkey pose. Take the peace fingers, grab the big toes so the palms face one another. And again, the feet are parallel and you're really pressing into all four corners of the feet. And let the upper body start to fold so the elbows are hanging out wide. Take another deep breath in. And exhale it out. Go ahead and release the fingers. And we'll inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, folds. And we'll rise up to stand. Press through the feet. Inhale, lift. And sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe you gaze up. And exhale, fold forward. Bend those knees. And inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, bring the hands down towards the ground and we'll step our right foot back for crescent lunge. So you've got the right toes facing forward. This left foot, you can walk it out towards the edge of the mat. And then when you're feeling stable in the feet, really engage through the legs, let the core bring you up. So you've always got the option to drop the back knee. Make sure you can see the left toes, they're facing directly forward. And relax the shoulders. So we'll come into that twist. So let's bring the left hand to the low back. And on the exhale, the right hand to the left knee. And as you exhale, twist. We're staying strong, so we're really engaging. We're kind of hugging towards the center. We're really pressing down through this left foot. Exhale, back to center and dance right into your warrior two. So spin that back foot down and walk this left foot towards the center of the mat. So it's kind of going right through the center of this back foot. And the shoulders are over the hips. And we're reaching through the fingers. And let's press through the feet. Inhale. Work on straightening that front leg maybe and bringing the arms up. And then exhale back to your warrior two. Can you sink a bit deeper? Can you reach a bit more? Inhale, lift. And exhale, sink, warrior two. And one more time. Inhale, press through that foot and lift up. Spread the fingertips. And exhale, warrior two. Relaxing through the shoulders, pressing through the feet, really reaching through the fingertips. Inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. So we're reaching up. And then back. Nice side body stretch through this left side. And then floating right into a side angle. So bring this elbow to the knee. We're just resting on it gently. Reach the right arm up. Really pressing through our feet here, through this outer edge of the right foot. And come on back to your warrior two. Deep breath in, flip and revolve. Exhale, windmill the arms down so you've got a hand on either side of the foot. And let's press back, downward facing dog. From here, roll out to a high plank. Shoulders are over the wrists, the core is lifting up. But then bend the knees, drop them down, and then sink your hips down too. Roll onto the tops of your feet. Bend the elbows here and just get a nice opening through the front body. And you're kind of just rolling from side to side here. And then why don't we press right back into child's pose. So big toes to touch, send your hips back towards your heels, and relax the forehead down. And then from here, use the hands and start to sit yourself up. And go ahead and just kick the feet around. So we're going to roll down onto our backs. Go ahead and lower down, and we'll come into waterfall pose by lifting the legs straight up towards the ceiling. You can always bring your backs of your legs up against a wall for support. See if you can press the low back down into the mat. And we'll stay here for a moment. And start to bend the knees and put the knees in towards the chest and the arms wrap around the shins. And press the lower back down into the mat. Hug the right knee, keep it hugging into the right shoulder. We'll come into a spinal twist. So extend the left leg, laying down on the mat, and we'll bring this right leg up and over. So guide it over this left leg, roll into the outer edge of the left leg. Keep the shoulders down on the ground. And when you're ready, come right back towards center. We'll go to the other side. So if you'd like to transition right into that or get in it the same way, squeeze the knees back into the chest. And then leave this left knee hugging in towards the left shoulder. Extend the right leg out long. And then on an exhale, guide the left knee up and over. And the gaze is either up at the ceiling or right over that left shoulder. All right. Come on back towards center. And let's get ourselves comfortable for a minute in our resting pose. So we'll stay here for a moment and get yourself comfortable. Let the feet and hands just fall out. Close the eyes. And this is the moment to sort of let anything go, so any passing thoughts. And allow yourself to just focus in on the breath and breathe. And just like how we started, go ahead and take a full deep breath in through the nose. And long exhale out through the mouth. Start to move the body parts, so through the fingers and toes, and maybe rocking the neck from side to side. And then in your time, let's meet in a comfortable seated position, just like how we started. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a nice full inhale, spread the fingertips and reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And then bring the palms together to touch, and as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And so the thumb knuckles press up against the sternum. We tuck the chin just a little bit. The finger pads are pressing together. Thank you all for joining tonight, for showing up and doing the work. And until I see you guys next time, namaste. Thank you for practicing and joining. So I'll be teaching again tomorrow night, and then next week, Monday and Tuesday will be the last week. So hopefully I will see you guys then.